So this is the original one off of the So our process was we make up the latex moulding compound, which is an A and a B. One's red, one's white. We just mix it into a bucket, and then we just brush it over her head. First of all, we've shellacked her, so we've repaired, and then we put shellac. Shellack's a wonderful repellent. They put it on furniture. It's part of French polishing, and it won't make anything stick to it. It's fast and smooth.
Only about a week.
And is that just water or a bit of tanning?
The liquid that's coming off was the tanning solution I made, and the only ingredient, as I said, was just this black wattle bark, just brewed up and yeah. And pardon?
Can you use other barks?
Yeah. I've used stringy bark, but I find that they end up being a little bit dry, a little bit brittle. Like wattle bark's just this ultimate bark. Like every old tanner I talk to talks about black wattle. So yeah. And tanning.
I love them.
Same thing, when it gets wet, it stretches. I know. Better ask off us.
Just two?
Yeah, just get it. That's it. Did you put anything on the mould to stop it from sticking to it? Yes. There he is. Back kerosene. Vaseline, front coating, depends on what they want. Yeah.
Just be right here?
Yep.
Yeah, there is a lot. But they take about, so they all go up in individual pieces, just like this. So I can usually get one done in a day. So now that all of the model's there, so. Did that big one yesterday and then the wind blew it over last night.
that would be a terrible way of doing it. The best thing to do is like I use these all the time at home. I've got chicken, I generally put chicken on a plastic chopping board separately because you still can have contamination.
That's all,
but all the rest of it I'll do, all my other stuff I'll do directly on that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Hey guys, I'm just going to take you through part of the process that we use to make our knives. So this is what's known as stock removal. So there's, when you talk about forging, you can shape steel from a billet and you can hammer it out, heat it up, draw it out. What we're doing is a step on from that. So we're starting with a sheet of steel. It's the same thickness. We buy in Swedish razor blade steel. And at that point it's 2.5 thick at the spine and at the edge. That's not going to cut so well, so we need to grind that down on both sides, double bevel, down to 0.1 mil. The last thing we do when we finish the knife is put an edge on it. I know people who put edges on prior to that, but you're kind of asking for an injury there. So what we're doing at this stage, you can see the difference between these two potentially. That's a high carbon blade, so that's been quenched in oil. That's a stainless steel blade, so that's been air quenched. And you can see this dark black stuff on here, that's forged scale. So these two, we heat treat them in slightly different ways to get a certain level of hardness. Then they get.
So yeah, there's a lot of steps to go from that to that, and that's why it costs what it does. I'm really not making much out of it, but if somebody will see it and appreciate it, and it'll be all good.
Flying off there. That's steel? Or is it?
Yeah, it's what we call scale. It's when steel burns, you see, when it's under hot temperature and it's in contact with oxygen, it burns. Unfortunately,
Is it
we're buying high-tech stainless before
yes, they're permanent fine liners and they're also waterproof because
it's like
recurring markers, if you don't have a waterproof
that's
fine
why,
liner, it'll smudge it,
professional
it'll go
stainless
blurry and
are
gross.
made to fit them and to fit their tasks. Yeah.
Oh, yep.
So,
The thing is, you probably only need one of those knives.
a good one.
Yeah.
Well, as a chef,
It would be usually a softer
some of them
type
will be,
pencil. I'll sketch it out.
point
Try not to do it too hard on the paper because I will have to erase the grey lead later. Either do I go over it with fine liners, I use a special Japanese brand of fine liner that I use called Leathercraft.
Yeah, that's actually just an oxide on some carbon, mild steel.
there's a really old myth.
Go really fine and then you can bend it in from where it'll go really thick so you can get lots of different types of lines out of it. And then pardon?
Systems that put exactly
He makes his
the right
own-
percentages
Makes his own sheets.
Like I really selectively because my body doesn't want most of these things.
Well, it's got stainless steel rivets in it.
I like this model, this Chinese size. Just make sure.
No, thanks for running. Thank you.
Get some model as well.
Just that little bit. Look, it's not. It's probably a little wider than that, I reckon. Not by much. On the egg, we've got the butt seam, and that's the outside of it. So the inside butt seam and the outside. So
Very great.
that's fine.
Thanks for that.
So when she came back from playgroup and stuff, we had to tip the sand out. So they got used anywhere and everywhere. So yeah, but that's the same. That's the butt seam on the inside, and that's on the outside.
So do we get onto you through Rundle and Rundle?
That's where I do my workshops. You can contact me directly. Got my email there, or yeah. Have you heard the prices? No. Usually I say, find out the prices, then ask whether you still want
Knives, knife sheaves and things. Soak in, soak in, soak in, soak in. pattern's already done, taken half of the work out of it at least anyway. And on we go, we can do whatever we want. Your imagination on it goes. This is another one for texture. These are great, these things. I only just got these. Yeah, you'd hope you do a whole book in it. But there's a tree there that I use it for a bit of shading in the moon. So it's all good. Oh yeah, that's all. That one. Righto, this is one that I've come up with. Cruise popular subject.
That's exactly what it was. It's round like No. And it's or something like that. Realm of it, rebind it. Yeah, at least you pronounced it right, so that's a bonus. But yeah, if you wanted to send photos of it, and, you know, we can do it. Like I've done stuff for overseas. Do you know what? Sometimes the problem with repairs is that does make it easier as well. You guys? And that is How you going?
Hi.
Basically the quality person. There are a lot of offshoots from that went then to goldsmiths, silversmiths, tinsmiths, coppersmiths, all in metal.
Cash, so it cost machines down and
So then we have to twist a little bit out of line, doesn't matter. It's a nice even twist we get through there. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to squash it until we get it again.
I listened to his background. I've watched so much now.
So where was that? Was that
In Japan.
in Japan? Oh, fantastic. Because that's so beautiful.
Otherwise I'm out.
No, I don't. Well, I don't think so.
Other part, and I'm listening to it.
Basket makers, but I learnt it because this is about basic coiling skill. And the way that we were taught was crocheting, but I'm doing blanket stitch, which is much easier. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Really nice antique jewellery boxes for the National Gallery of So take a card, send me a picture, and yeah, have a look at it, have a go through it. Don't forget to try out the big padlock guys on the end there. There's lots of stuff, and this is our padlocks that we make in our padlock making workshop. So they come from Tasmania in bits, and basically we put them together. That's workshop 1. Workshop 2, we burn the metal and we actually make it.
Quite amazing.
Can't see my dirty fingernails. Can you?
Yep.
You just don't know you're working then. Not just a fake. Keep going.
It was built in 1876. Pedal power. Demonstrating what they think would do. Have you no idea what they can do? So I just do it up to this stage. And then on the machine there is smooth and it shakes it. And then we end up with elastic tubes like that.
The well, what the well's for? Well, I was always taught to put your plane in it. It's not a hostile work surface. Chisels, mallets.
This is called the fletching jig.
This makes my job a little bit easier. We use turkey feathers. Traditionally it's turkey and geese feathers. This is fairly large. I can get number 4 feathers. I make them up for 1 hour on the left or on right for the bird. Goes on the same mix and match it up.
Just mixing those.
That's all got to be balanced on. With the flesh, I'll just simply cut down the centre of the quill. A lot of them end up on the floor. Keeping these about 8 inches, so I'll run a bead of glue along the fletch there, and in the jig that will sit. I'll go and have a coffee, make another part of an arrow, come back, imagine that's glue. I would rotate this around, and rotate around to 120 degrees, and then I've got it. That's what I'm doing. I'm just having a look to see how it's bending. If there's any flat spots, I'll take them off. If any spots bending a bit too much, I'll leave them alone. I'm at 18 inches on a fairly long string. That's about 70 odd pounds. So I'm going to have to keep drawing that out further. So I'll have to draw that further. I'm going to have to keep taking it away from it. Well, bending pretty nicely now. So I'll just be taking it away from that whole length.
Plenty of space. I'm on the farm soon. I know,
Thank you.
This finger's getting a little warm. With the wind blowing the flame around and it's my fingers, it's a little bit off-putting.
Right, so I'm using a divider to make sure that I'm going to trim the leather so it's all nice and square on the cover. Maybe I am.
I've been struggling to get the like thin lines on the down, like the curves and stuff.
Oh, that's just leather inside.
No, this one's
Made a belly inside, and then you've got fillers up in here to shape it.
It's beautiful leather. But I don't want I mean, it's going to be
Seriously,
Deep dark Africa. No, that's
one of my colleagues got one. If you like
the other way you can go is by Chicago screws.
These are hard as no
problem with those is super glue in and tighten them up. So once you put a touch of super glue on, tighten them up. It's got to be quick.
The divorce card, they walk it out until it's like a tennis net. They peg it every yard, then they lock this on, and that would walk along and sew the carpet together. So this is an absolute incredible machine. So you've seen that one.
Sublime, ridiculous, or in reverse.
Let's have a look at this one. This one here was built in 1886. There's only 316 of these registered in the world, so it is quite a rare machine. It's a complete sewing machine. It's called a Moldicott. This is the world's first pocket-sized sewing machine. It was designed for you to take on holidays. Now, if you went on holidays and you tore your party dress, you can sit your husband down with one of these and he can prepare it for you.
Or he can fix his own party dress.
So you screw that onto it, then away you go. Back in 1886, this would have cost 10 shillings and sixpence. So that is about 3 to 4 weeks' wages. So only the well-to-do would probably have one of these. It's an incredible little machine. So there you've seen the short and the tall of it.
That's Wayne and me without the machines.
So thank you for your time and you have an enjoyable time here. And then as the needle goes back, it creates a little loop. And that tiny little foot in there picks it up, carries it over the other side of the fabric, and the needle comes in behind the loop which holds it in place. It then slips it and comes over and grabs the next one.
One thread?
Single thread, yes. Actually does a blanket stitch. Talking about that, I'm about ready for a sleep too, just quietly. So
hours to go, yeah.
Yeah, hours to go, yeah. So that's a great little machine. 1900 this was built. That's incredible. We love these old.
Which are called billets. Yeah. And then the billet is then put on the lathe, turned into the car lathe. And you make about 144 a day. And then they'll be sent down. These will be left to dry. And they'll be stacked. Two like that, two like that, two like that, two like that.
So that is
called the hedgehog. And then they'll be sent down to the factory where they'll be made into the chairs.
Yeah, I saw that.
Would you like a license for this musical bell? What? You're Australian.
Yeah.
We sell you bells. You don't come here and tell us about bells. I said, oh, fine, but you know, you don't make very good bells. I make beautiful bells. Wouldn't you like, as a musician, to have a license on proper bells, the ones you've always wanted to make? Since the 13th century, this is the bell you wanted to make. This is the tuned bell, unlike your lumps. They took enormous offence.
Yes, I know.
How is that?
How is that a young upstart Australian tells them, you know, something?
Only now they're changing their mind. Right?
Oh yeah.
And now I'm doing design work for European
Oh
bells.
good. Well, at least it's in your time.
Yeah.
It's not posthumous that, oh look, you know, he had some wonderful ideas and let's make money out of it.
Well, we're in a time when the European bell industry is quietly dying. In Melbourne. So I made those. They're my bells. And that's what I think of the art should be. Participatory, and that should be interactive. Places where people can come together and play creatively with one another. And so I want to spread those sorts of fun and joyful
way that it's finally assembled and orientated. But getting back to shaving this to start with, I work in these tangent planes first because it's the easiest face to cut. I've got to take this down to about 20 mm square, and if I started working in the radial growth plane here and here, this is probably twice as hard to cut as the tangential face. So what I do in difference to that is I flatten this side, I flip it over 180 degrees, and flatten this side down to about 20 mm. And then when it comes to having to work in these radial growth planes, I've got less material to remove. Okay, so it's all about working. Happy with how that's looking there, and I'll flip it over, and now again start to remove big sections of timber, just really hogging this down. And you can see just all that moisture that's sort of popping out of the surface of the timber. And this is really lovely to work. You know, you get an immediate sense when you first put your edge tool into a piece of green wood whether it's going to behave well for you and whether it's going to be nice to work. And you can just see this stuff is just lovely.
Yeah.
is? Yeah, lovely. It's a bit stretched, but it's not old.
Not quite that
It's quite a practical way of doing it. Yeah, so I guess you want really traditional old school shoemaking techniques, then don't really go backwards.
So I got to work with one of the other makers to bring his back today for me to fix. So he wants me to make a new one. Not for like this, but
Like same, yeah.
Must have a good day anyway.
Round faces and,
Hey guys, square faces. Most of the reason it's so the issue with obviously the bigger the bats, so here's the lock.
Lovely, thank you. Cheers. Thanks guys, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You want anything? Yeah. Okay.
They're making one.
Sure.
Okay, Dad. Let's go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to make some handmade woolen rope. This is a very special order because it's a piece of rope being made by this young lad who wants to take his very own piece of rope home. And it's handmade woolen rope. Very special rope. You won't find any other handmade wool ropes in the entire world but here today. So we're going to twist these 3 hooks, twist the rope, this little gadget is a spreader, and it's going to keep each strand separate until it's ready to twist back and make the rope. So you just watch and it'll all happen. And like all good handmade rope, it's not instant. It takes a little bit of work to do, like all good products.
You invent this? It's not made at all, but that's how you make rope.
But this is the age-old technique of making rope. You will find all the rope made for the sailing ships use the same system with either 3 or 4 hooks.
I spent 6 years at uni to learn that.
So they'll knock those 3 bits together as well? Oh, look, she's doing it.
Perfect speed.
But that's fighting for sort of short. Got it under control.
We have an expert train. That's it. Yes.
That's what we come back to.
So it's 10 strands, 5 up, 5 back, 10, 20. I'm doing all the work here. Yep, that's all stuff.
That 20. You buying this 10.
That one was wound a bit tighter. So that's the key criteria. If you've got down to 1 box of bees in the hive going through winter, then you want to have at least 6 of an 8-frame box full of honey to actually give them enough swarms to last through winter. So, and in terms by weight, you'd be looking at 20 to 30 kilos worth of weight within that box. Any other questions? Totally different.
So you said it's been a particularly bad season. So he converted from beekeeper 3rd generation, now in his 70s. He said to me 6 weeks ago, the worst he'd ever had. Yeah. I've only been doing it for 42 years.
So this is that's basically all made apart from sticks.
Well, that's true.
Thank you.
So yeah, I made all that part. This is set of mandolin picks I had. You could use.
No, this one. No, that's a violin. It's not a violin.
I think he's going to do it.
That being a bit different, I'd like to have a go at it first before I sort of even gave you an estimation of the cost. So I'd like one available or flavour or something like that. But at the moment we're waiting a little while for us. We've got a few people in the queue. I'm out of Oregon, but I work there.
It's not.
Adding quality.
How come this is allowed? Like, I thought Australia did black guns. Excuse me, are these real? How is it legal?
What's this? Well, it's legal because it's got a gun license.
Okay, never mind.
You have to have a license.
Alright.
Oh, well, that should be here somewhere. Then go.
Yeah. Do you want the
Well, you might be here.
Don't show that to my husband. I don't want him to know that I work.
Okay, I won't. What's that called?
It's a picker. It's called a picker.
I thought you were rocking a baby or something.
Well, actually, there's an advantage to this. There's no kid screaming at the end of it.
That's
but,
true.
You know.
Yeah.
But no, this is washed alpaca, and you can't spin it when it's like that because you need a smooth flow. You know, when you're spinning. But we open it up. This gets rid of some of the seed out of my alpaca, but you can't. You can spin it, but you get thick thing because it's all over the place.
Yep.
So we put it on the carder, and
Over
that
there,
aligns
yep.
the fibres all in a row. So then we can spin it and get an even yarn or an uneven yarn, you know, depending on how you're spinning it. So that's the reasoning behind this.
And what's under that? What's that? Oh, like little claws or needles or...
Needles, yeah.
And
so
that's
they're
just
on the
plain.
top and the bottom.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they didn't have this in the old days. So in the old days, the women would get this and they'd be tearing it apart
Doing it
like
by
this.
hand.
And then they'd put it on hand carders and then they'd comb it like that because they didn't have a drum carder either. So we're still manual. I mean, the group...
But it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. The group has got an electric carder, you know, for us that have got big lots of alpaca and things, which help us. So it works well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But that's the
I'll go look at this over here.
Sorry.
That's all right. Do you want to give us a demonstration?
Give you a demonstration? I might never card it again after the weekend. So what we're doing is aligning the fibres to get them to go straight. That's the object of the lesson.
So are you going to tell me that what you do with this is what you've just done by hand?
Yes. Yes, although with the hand one they're mixed. This is keeping them straight. We've got two pigeons nesting above there, so I think at the end of the day we'll have a lovely time picking up all the...
They'll be ready for their winter nests.
Yes.
Lovely warm ones.
Yes, so not often they have a chance to have alpaca on their nest, I would think. This just helps to pack it down into the bed of the block. The newer drum carders have a brush attachment at the top that does the same thing.
So how do you get that out of there then?
You have to wait till you build it up a bit, otherwise
I see,
it'll fall to pieces.
So you've got to build it up, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it'll just come off in bits. The idea is to get it to hang together as a mat.
So that one over there that's got the swing on it,
that's a picker. And what Myra's washed her fleece, and because it mats up a bit, you put it through the picker which opens it up. That comes to here, the drum card. And in the long run, once we've carded it to our satisfaction, you can then spin it.
at least 100 years. What you're looking at is very rare in Australia. Probably count on one hand the true antique spinning great wheels in Australia. There was an Australian maker who's now 94 who made a more modern variety, but spinning, this sort of spinning didn't have any history really in Australia. So this one was imported from Canada by a chap who brought it on a barn sale, which indicates to me that it came from a farm. And so it was a workhorse. They would have used it to spin fibre, that they could then use the yarn for weaving or knitting or whatever. Just explain a bit more about it. This is really unusual. It's a spindle, very sharp, Sleeping Beauty stuff. Yes, this is a direct drive. So I'm turning it with my hand, turning the drive band, and it's turning those little pulleys, and so that's turning the spindle. In the hands of the experienced spinsters in America and Canada, this would have been, they would have really been quite fast on it. But when it's a wheel of spindle wheels, including the spindle wheels, the charkers from Asia.
Rope to do with, what are you trying to use?
I've actually got Corriedale. Well, I've spun for 40 years.
come to me. Well, we used to walk along, naked heart, my love is gone tonight. Blue as I can be. On the telephone, used to talk and made you cry. Now I call it just makes you mad tonight. Now I'm all alone. What you serve tonight, I'm all alone.